Hey, what's good? What's going on, guys? Will my dad with another daily vlog. So today I will be downtown shooting, and what I want to show you guys today is how I come downtown and at the beginning of the week and shoot a lot of content within one day. So today I bought maybe 4 outfits. I got it in my car, parked in a parking garage, which is usually typical for me when I want to hurry up and change, run back and jump in the car and change clothes. Yes, that happens, so I'm thinking about ordering one of those pop-up things you can just pop up in the middle of the street. It's like a little tent and you can change right there on the spot. But until then, I'll be coming back to home base, stripping down, putting back on. And that's how I get through I can knock out 4 or 5 days worth of shooting in a few hours, and try to do it before the sun comes down. I think it's like 3 o'clock, so it's nice. The clouds is up. It's a nice diffused light, and I'm bringing my Godox AD200 with my pop-up softbox today, and we're going to be shooting with some flash because I want to create some different looks. I'll be shooting a couple of hats for fashionable hats, and some shades by Craywoods. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I'll correct it down here in the bottom if I'm wrong. But I have my nephew with me here today, and he's going to help. I left my stand for my flash, so thankfully he's tall enough I can just have him hold the flash above while it goes off, and I can Photoshop him out because I'm gonna shoot tethered through my phone and control the shots through my phone, through my smartphone. That's how I'm able to get my shots, and it's basically what you would need if you want to do self-portraiture out and about, for your social media platforms. You would need some form of DSLR or mirrorless. I would prefer mirrorless, that you can control with either a clicker, or if it's a mirrorless, you can control with your smartphone. And you would need a nice sturdy tripod. Spend some good money on your tripod, about $150 enough. Trust me, it'll be worth it. The weight, the stability, the ability to stand up against wind. You don't want to spend a lot of money on a camera and then put it on a cheap tripod and the wind knocks it over and breaks your camera. So yeah, so I'm about to change it to my first look, and I'll see you guys out on the street. Alright, so I got my first look together. I'm going with this nice autumn scarf, and this is the hat we'll be shooting for fashionable hats. It's a nice green complexion brim with this nice brown blazer, some boots, some blue jeans. I had some Nautica jeans I had in the car. I was like, well, it looked just like these, so I'm gonna just shoot these. With a shirt from, I think H&M, I'm not sure. And my Aldo bag. So here's my light setup that I'm using. AD200 Pro, and and I have my Canon R6. Since I don't have my light stand, I'll be having my nephew hold up the light where I need it. So this will be my first shoot with this flash downtown Savannah, as far as like fashion, running gun. I'm gonna see how this is gonna work. My goal is to have me a nice van I'm working towards, that's sizable to carry a wardrobe and a spot to do makeup and change. That way we can do it on the road, on the go, wherever, whenever, with a small solid team. Even if it's just me, I would need that space, especially when I could just close the door and change and not worry about jumping in and out of a car. So that would work awesome. But that's what we work towards, and that's what we strive to get to. So yeah, so we're about to head downstairs, and what I typically like to do when I come downtown is I like to challenge myself. I like to teach myself about lighting and situations, whether they're bad or good. So I will work these blocks. If anybody's seen Savannah, Georgia, from a sky view, you'll see all the historic blocks down here. But I would just pick a section and just work a 5, 6, 8 foot section, and then go change and go work a different one right next to it. Or I just it teaches you how to shoot in any scenario, whether bad or good. But let's get downstairs. It's pretty loud. All right, so what I like to do, I like to walk downtown and I should just look for, you know, as you can see when I'm shooting business or formal or semi-formal. Oh no, is it business formal? Business or business formal? I like to look for settings with these tall ceilings, you know, to kind of give me this I'm in New York type of vibe, businessman look. White collar, but I do wear stuff, also blue collar as well. But as far as that look, that really kind of helps sell the shot. So what I'm gonna do now, since I have this green hat on, I'm probably gonna try to get some. I'm gonna play with the different backgrounds. But like I said, I'm gonna just set up and start shooting. I'm a running gun. I don't plan stuff out. If I see something, what I like to do, I start to look for compositions like leading lines, anything parallel, similarity. I also look for shadows, different type of lights, how the light shadows and falls onto like a building like that. You know, I start getting ideas like that on how to pose someone to enter something as far as into a shot. And nice scenes like that under the tree, nice soft shadows, but I can add a flash right there. So a lot of different scenarios you can play with, but you have to get out, and so you have to start shooting in order to start training your eye to start seeing these things off the bat. So you'll know as a photographer, you can stick me in any situation, any location, I'm just gonna shoot, I'm gonna make it happen. That's why you get out and practice every week. All right, so let me go find a spot to set up. And cut. All right, so I think I left my battery for this camera that's recording this. So I'm gonna have to run back and go get the backup batteries. I'm gonna cut this short and I'm gonna just play it while I'm over here shooting. So as you can see, I just found this nice corner where the sun was bouncing off this glass, which is hitting the back of my head, giving me rim light, which is nice. And I'm gonna use a flash as a key light. But I'm gonna try to play on light and shadows. I'm gonna take some shots in the shadows to see how it comes off. And then we'll bring the flash in and show you what that looks like after that. All right, so I'm gonna bring it in close to you guys, so I'm gonna show you guys what I got going on, right? So, putting the flash that way. I'm gonna show you guys what it looked like without the flash, right? So, as you can see, I can see the shots on my phone. That's why I say it's good to have a smartphone. I'm gonna take a shot with this remote, even though I can shoot it from my phone, but I'm gonna shoot it from the remote and show you what it looks like without the flash. All right, I'm gonna post that and show you guys. I'm shooting at 2.8, 1/100 of a second. I think I'm gonna go up to 125 of a second. I wanna add more shadows. But I have the light from behind me casting, giving me rim light. So this is what happens when we add the flash. So bring the flash in and bring it up a little more, point it down a little, something right there. All right. And this is what happens when you add the flash. Pop. See, that's the image. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. We're gonna take another shot. It's popping kind of low. Let me make sure my settings are right. 164 per second. Alright. Let's try that one more time. Let's go up to 160 of a second. Looking crispy and crispy. But that's how you add I'm gonna pop a few more off and then I'm gonna go get the battery so I can continue doing the video. But I'm gonna take a few more shots and I'm gonna show you guys. Alright. Alright. So I'm in the parking garage and I'm going back downstairs. My next look. I was gonna keep the other hat on, but I decided to bring out the fox fur joint. I'm gonna keep the green blazer intact, black Stacy's, gray trousers from H&M, black turtleneck, I think from H&M as also. Throwback stuff. But I got these glasses from a sponsor. I'm gonna show you how those look in a second, which is why I agreed to keep the green blazer. And we're gonna go take these shots and we're gonna get up out of here. I'm hungry. See beautiful downtown Savannah. So many nice shots to shoot at. So the sun is dropping. Not really the sun is dropping, just the clouds are hating. I'm not really complaining. It's some nice soft shadows, but I wanted some harsh rim light. I'm thinking about going in the alley with these. I don't know. I might save the alley for tomorrow. We'll see. All right, I'll get back with you in a second. Man, I should just. All right. So we're gonna voice over the next few clips. As you can see, I'm checking my settings on my phone, and I have my camera on the tripod. And what I'm doing right now is just doing a few test shots. As you can see, how it looks out of camera. What I'm doing, I'm just testing for testing the aperture and the shutter speed to see how it will look. See the retouch on the right and just a little light color grade on the left in capture 1. This is downtown Savannah in front of one of these historic buildings, and I'm asking my nephew to come in and bring in the flash because I think I found a setting that can work based off the light and the time of day. And now I'm directing him just to lift it up and point it down at a certain angle. Nice soft light. It's a small light modifier, it's not huge, so but it comes in handy when you're shooting run and gun. So when you don't want to be too conspicuous, I don't say too I don't know, but when you got people downtown touring, walking around with their families or whatever, and last thing you want is a cop pulling up talking about, do you have permits? Small, quick, portable, in and out. 3 different shots. As you can see, I put the phone on the ground and now I switched up to my remote, and I can look at the phone and see where I'm standing and use the phone as kind of like a monitor. Smartphones are very useful and handy today in photography. I could have had a second tripod actually and put a mount on the cell phone and use it as a monitor, but like I said, we're just in and out, and I want to be everyone's way with tripods and all kind of crazy setups. Now I'm sitting up on top by the pillar. I have the light on my right as a key light. Now the sun coming in from the back left, which is the rim light, so kind of giving like a 2-light setup. The point of the light in the front is basically to fill in where the shadows are at because the light is coming from the back. You can see it on my left arm. Alright, as you can see, once I find my spot, I'll put the phone down again and I switch back up to the remote. I do this every time I switch poses. I actually like this look too. This is giving 1940, 1950, dapper gentleman, distinguished gangster look. It's pretty warm out there too. I was sweating if I recall. That's typical Savannah. The earth will say, oh, between this date and this date is winter, but Savannah like, nah, we're gonna stick with spring and summer. We're gonna give you heat. We don't care what nature predicts. Now I'm showing my nephew some of the shots. I always show your team your shots, and so you can kind of let them know and reassure them that they're doing a good job. And also, if you have any concerns, you can let them know before you start shooting again, so they can point it a certain type of way or move the equipment over a certain spot But you want to keep communication lines open so everyone's on the same page. Plus, it'll keep them from being restless. Because you can see he's yawning and yawning, and you know, most of these kids, their minds are other places anyway. I'm pretty sure some girl walking by, he's looking. I'm not complaining. Any help is any help is helpful, I would say. Especially seeing that I'm always shooting by myself. So usually if I was doing this, I would have another tripod to hold up the light, and I would place it in the same spot where he's at, and I would just, you know, shoot with the remote like I'm doing right now. And we're about to take a look at some of the shots again. Also hype up your team also. I mean, if they're doing a great job, let them know that. Like, man, you're doing a great job, man. I appreciate you holding this. This looks great. I love the way this looks. You know, so positive reinforcement. Now we're about to move on to a different location. This is closer down by the river. Well, in Savannah, we call River Street. We're on these cobblestone streets. Got the iPhone set up as a behind the scenes camera, and I'm directing him to be on my left. And I think I have the 35mm on this shot. And I'm coming up close because I want to get some low angle shots facing up towards the building. You can actually see when the camera goes off. If you look at the back monitor of the camera, you can see like it goes off every 2 seconds. Now I'm just making some adjustments on the power. Try to increase the power of the shot, of the flash, excuse me. That's the only thing that sucks about shooting in the public. You have to wait till people finish walking by because you don't want them in your shot. As you can see, with more power cranked out right there. I actually like the raw images also. Basically in the color correction, all I did was lift the shadows a little bit, and I think decrease the highlights and lift the whites in capture one. I think I need to get me a monitor that's dedicated strictly for color, because I noticed when I edit on my MacBook, the color looks totally different from when I edit on my my PC. It's like totally different, and that's a goal I want to work on. Make sure I get me a monitor that's dedicated to, you know, Adobe's color. So whatever I'm working on and whatever I print it or edit it or finalize that image, it will look exactly like, you know, the image I will post and share online, because I do notice there's a difference in color, also in brightness. Like some of the shots on my camera, they'll look perfectly fine when I bring it into Capture One. It'll look, you know, a little darker than usual. I know it's probably something I'm doing on my end. I'll figure it out. As you see, I'm doing some walk-in shots, like I'm casually scrolling, and so if you're and that shot's kind of blurry, but if you're into taking self-portraits, that's something you might want to work on. You know, different poses, shots of you walking in motion, shots of you sitting, you know, just different random shots. But mostly with men fashion, it's mostly like, you know, motion shots. You have your standard poses, but I always want to mix it up. Alright, show my nephew some of the shots, let him know what we're, you know, how we're doing, how the shots are looking. I'm telling them to go further on the right. See if we can kind of like give it like a rim light shot, kind of a little similar to the back also. People walking by, I just gotta wait for them to get out my shot. There we go. That's with the light, you know, coming from the back a little more. It's not directly, you know, kind of in front of me, but it's kind of like on the side. Still looks great. I'm pretty sure these shots will look very good in black and white also. I'm just trying different things now, as you can see, just different angles and seeing what kind of look comes out great. That's a standalone, you know, pose right there. Grabbing the brim is always a great shot. This is always fun to do too, because I love how people are sitting there looking at you like, wow, what are they doing? You know, the curiosity level. But that's my daily vlog. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure, well, you guys make sure you subscribe and follow the channel so you can stay updated with the latest videos. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, Mr. Midell. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.